Thiago Alcantara, a name that embodies elegance, precision, and creativity. A Barcelona youth product who became a world-class midfielder for Bayern Munich, but yet I feel like his early days at Barcelona have been forgotten. Despite being hailed as one of the best central midfielders in the late 2010s era, it feels as though the footballing world has forgotten how good this guy actually was, even at the start of his career. And honestly, I feel like half of that is because of him being overshadowed by the greatness of Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets, a generation so dominant that even exceptional talents like him found it hard to break through. Thiago was one of the jewels of La Masia. And honestly, I think you could probably make an argument that between that Messi generation and the current crop of your Pedris or your Malls, he was probably the best player in between those generation classes. Like I said earlier, breaking into that midfield was going to be near impossible. And it became even more impossible when the likes of Cesc Fabregas came over from Arsenal, when the man was still only just 18. But what we're going to do in this video is we're just going to break down a little bit of his play while he was in that Barcelona jersey, just to see, what the good, the bad was of a young maestro at work. Now, Thiago already kind of showed that baseline level of technical skill. And, in terms of his ability to have good ball control, have good touches, having the passing range, I think where I really want to start talking about is his dribbling, as I think that was probably his best attribute at this point in his career. As you can recognize in this clip, so I believe he is over here. Actually, I'm sorry, he's over here. And you can see he's looking for the ball. One of the things I really liked about him is that whenever he passes, he's always looking to occupy new space. So as you can see here, he's left and he's looking for a good open space to operate in. He's able to find it. He calls for the ball. And as you can see here, he gets it. And then he recognizes what's available for him, more space to drive into, and which he does. And as you're doing that, now I will note, I do find it a bit funny that none of the defenders are trying to pressure him, but he's also doing a good job of really forcing the issue by dribbling the same way that his teammate is running to essentially force this defender to make a decision of, is he going to try to cover him and have an easy slip for his teammate, or is he going to have to just continue to back off and let him continue to penetrate the space more? And ultimately, his teammate's able to drag that defender away, and he's able to go for a shot himself. So I'm just saying, from this one clip, you see a lot of high-level processing. And I want to say at the time, the dude was probably like 19 or 20 during this game. So you just kind of see from an advanced age, from a smaller age, kind of his advanced ability and his ability to recognize when to do certain actions. And while I exactly wouldn't call him fast on the ball, like he's not a player that, has like crazy dribbling speed like Messi, he was underrated in terms of his ability to remain quick, especially when he could get the ball out in front of him. Also, kind of his dribbling style, he tends to use a lot of hesitations and movements to really try to trick his defenders. As you can see here, again, he's using his teammate as bait to lure these defenders. He's able to kind of stop them in their tracks. Again, create space for himself just to actually continue his movement in stride. And now he's forced the defender to stop and react to him. So now he's on the back foot and he's able to still play in his teammate if he wants to. Now he's still able to continue driving down that direction if he wants to as well. So again, a lot of these split-second decisions he's able to make and create good opportunities for himself, even in the heat of the moment. And I think one of the things that was really unique about his dribbling was not only his control, but the fact that he had pretty long strides. So anytime he was able to evade defenders, he can only use his dribbling skills to evade them. But because of how long his strides is, the ball would usually be in a place where it'd be out of reach for the defenders. And an example of what I'm talking about is this skill he does against Real Madrid, against 3 defenders. So look how they all lunge in for the ball, use his quick control to get away from the first defender, able to keep the ball close to him, is able to, again, keep the ball away from this defender so he can't really reach for it, and then able to bamboozle Thiago with the ball as well. And it doesn't take him that many strides to regain control of the ball. So, and I think that's kind of what really makes his ability to dribble so unique, is just the fact that he can cover so much ground in a single stride. Another the midfielder that comes to mind that really does this effectively is someone like a Paul Pogba as well. So that's kind of something that they have in common. And when you combine that with his ability to create hesitations, to work in tight spaces. It makes trying to defend a guy like this incredibly difficult and incredibly nightmarish. Like I've shown you, Thiago was already a great midfielder long before his Bayern and Liverpool years. At Barcelona, he was able to display a level of technique and flair and vision that was definitely above average for players of his age group. I would say, though, the reason why he was probably never really able to displace Iniesta and Xavi is due to that lack of experience. He just didn't have the feel for the game yet that those two did. Right? It's a one thing to be able to display certain skills in isolated moments, but he wasn't able to bring together that level of consistency that those two were able to, which I do think is reasonable, right? Like he was 19, 20, 21 when he was still trying to break into the squad, and those dudes were already in their mid to late 20s, if not early 30s. So it kind of comes with the territory. I think ultimately him leaving Barcelona, he did become a better player, and he was able to garner a lot of success at Bayern Munich, and slightly not as much at Liverpool due to his injury issues, but all the makings of the player that he went on to become was already there. And even Barcelona fans will tell you that they regret selling this guy, especially because you look at the type of midfielders they went on to try to replace him with. The likes of Rakitic, who was still actually pretty good, Vidal, Frankie de Jong, Paulinho. They were never able to really find like that settled partner to replace the Iniesta Xavi duo after they left. So yeah, that's going to be it for my video today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of Thiago, if you watched him live, if this was an informative video. And most importantly, remember to have a good day.